what meal is this of the day?
This is meal number 5. Wild salmon and peppers. September 3rd, 2 weeks out.
True, on the nose.
Yeah,
14 days.
On the nose. Energy is all-time low. Time to eat. When you look forward to eating peppers, you know you're deep in a prep. Off season, you'll never catch me eating vegetables.
Is this your favorite meal of the day?
At this point, because I had carbs, only 3 meals. Breakfast, pre and post workout. Those would be my favorite meals just because they're the most satisfying. But meal 5 and 6 is higher in fat, like salmon or steak, so they're pretty good too. But I would say right now my most enjoyable meal is probably breakfast, oatmeal. I really love oatmeal. What's up? 10:30 p.m. Meal 6 we're preparing right now. 8 ounces of flank steak, and it'll be about 100 grams of zucchini. So I'll eat this, digest, and we'll get to bed at probably by about midnight tonight. I like to keep sort of doing my flank steak well done so it gets a little bit crispy. This one over here is the wife, Rachel.
I think mine needs an extra shake. Is this your favorite meal?
Yeah, it's like, depends on the flank steak cut. I'm very particular. Sometimes when it's too lean, I really hate the taste of it because it's really tough. But if you get the right cut with the right grain in it, and the way I cut it, it fries up like pretty nice in the frying pan. And then when you put a little bit of sweet heat sauce on it, saute it like so. Watch this. Do a little bit of this on there, right? Like that. A little bit goes a long way. A little shakeroo.
What about mine?
And you can see it starting to get nice and crispy. All my meals, we do a 1/4 teaspoon Redmond real salt. This is my favorite salt. Some of you guys might use like pink Himalayan sea salt. That's fine too. I just really like Redmonds.
Brian ever eat mushrooms?
Not usually.
Why? How come you don't eat mushrooms?
They're high FODMAP. They don't digest well. I'm very limited on the vegetables. I stick with ones that are 0 raffinose in them, low FODMAP. So like zucchini, bell peppers, cucumber. You could eat celery. So the choices are limited. But that way, it just doesn't interfere with any digestion. Because if you eat like vegetables like asparagus or broccoli that has raffinose in it, basically it has to ferment in your body and turn to gases for our bodies to actually digest it properly, because we don't have an enzyme in our bodies to actually break it down efficiently. That's why sometimes broccoli and cruciferous vegetables can make you gassy. Apple cider vinegar. In prep, I'll end up adding apple cider vinegar twice a day because the protein content's so high, carbs are lower, fats are lower, so you know the majority of our calories that are going in the system are protein, and protein can become very acidic. So apple cider vinegar will create a better environment, better acidity in your stomach to break down those proteins. So a lot of you guys might notice while you're prepping, you might end up getting some heartburn or indigestion. So it's a really good idea to add apple cider vinegar before your meals. So, 1, 2, and a big mess there for Rachel to clean up. Cider vinegar, I'll just add a little bit of water to it. Give it a twirl. I don't mind the taste of it. I kind of like the burn when you feel it go down. I know some people like absolutely hate it, but I don't mind it. So you know it's working.
Can you do that one more time, that reaction?
Feel the burn.
Good technique.
Yeah, droplets.
Everyone's crazy.
Really tough right now, but it's been pretty cool. It's cool to see, like, it's rewarding waking up every morning and sort of like seeing the changes. the last 2 weeks, been going with a pretty cool method. I'll go like low carb. So like basically on my training days is maybe 150 to 170 grams of carbs, which is very low for me because earlier in the prep I was upwards of 500 grams. And then on my non-training days, which right now is just once a week, which falls on a Sunday, I'll do 0 grams of carbs. So what I've been doing is throughout the week, from Wednesday to Sunday are the low training days, and then Sunday is no carbs. Wake up Monday morning, assess, and each week I'm like my lowest body weight, the tightest I've been, and then I've been spending 2 days carbing up to see how my body responds to, you know, carbing up. So it's kind of like a dry run before the show. So the first week we did it, I did 750 grams of carbs for 2 days, so 1,500 grams over 2 days. And after the first day, 750 grams, I thought my weight was gonna jump like crazy. And I actually lost half a pound. So the next day, did 750 again. I put on the half pound. So my weight was the same. So that basically told us that it's not enough carbs to fill me up. So we did 900 grams this week and I gained 6.5 pounds. So today being Friday, I'm almost below what I was last Sunday. So I'm excited to see what my weight is on Sunday, but I think it will be a new low. So it's a pretty cool process. But it's also very challenging when you get like this lean because you want to like do everything in your power to be the best you can. And you want to find that like drive or emotion or feeling. But it's like you're just so tired and depleted and you're trying to reach for like, you know, you guys that have done shows and can probably relate. It's hard to find like any emotion or like drive to like really fuel you. So it takes a lot to get through the workouts, to do the cardio. Like the other day, for example, I did my hour of cardio in the morning, and like I really wanted to do my second session. So I got on my second session of cardio. I was doing 30 minutes. I got 14 minutes in, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? I can't push it. I feel like crap. I'm like blurry a little bit. I feel like I can't feel my calves. They feel really light. My hands start feeling weird. I'm watching YouTube and I'm like, I can't even see it. So I get off, test my blood sugar. It was 2.8. So it's like, you know, you're dealing with a very low blood sugar, being in this calorie deficit for a long time. You know, there's all these factors going on in the body. So yeah, it's definitely challenging to keep like pushing as hard as you possibly can. Because, you know, as athletes, we always want to push. But it's like sometimes the resources just aren't there. So.
Could it be dangerous at all? Like, could you have fainted?
Yeah, if you hit low blood sugar like that, it's very dangerous. You're not doing yourself any favor. You just gotta get off. I just got off, messaged Phil, and he was just like, yeah, don't finish it, just eat your steak. So, ate my steak and things stabilized. You don't need carbs because even protein will convert to glucose if needed. But yeah, it's really interesting being in this state because I haven't been here for like, you know, 5-6 years. And you kind of forget what it feels like. Yeah, just like the lack of serotonin, your estrogen levels are so low, low blood glucose, like all these things just really affect the body, and it makes things very challenging. I used to use this example, but it's almost like, you know, if you're like at the airport and your flight gets canceled and you're waiting for your flight and you're like irritated and you're like uncomfortable and you're waiting for your flight and all you want to do is get home, like really bad, and then the flight comes and it gets delayed again. That feeling of like being irritable and feeling like shit and you're just like uncomfortable, it's kind of like, feels like that a little bit, if that makes sense. But it's temporary, right? I try to remind myself that like, enjoy it as much as you can and live in it, because it does go by very, very quickly. As hard as it is, I think it's like just important to have perspective and just try and keep your energy like positive. And I think when you think about things like, oh, how crappy you feel or whatever negative thoughts are coming to your mind or your brain, I think it makes it worse. So I think it's really important to just focus on the positive. And for me, that's getting my pro card. that I wanted since I did my first show when I was 17. So that was 34 now.
17 years ago?
17 years.
Should we get a calculator?
Has it been 17 years?
Wait, 17? Yeah.
Wow. So since I did my first show, it's been another 50% of my life. 17 plus 17. Wow. That's crazy. We're getting old.
50-50.
Yeah. I started dieting. They released the news for the Canadian Nationals at 16 weeks out from the show. And I had to qualify. So I was like, ah, damn, I really want to do that, but I'm not qualified. So like 4 days later, they released that they had a qualifier on the Friday. But basically at 15 and a half weeks out. I already like sort of started dieting at 16 weeks out just for the summer because I wanted to be in shape. But then when they released that, I was like, okay, I'm all in. I kind of wanted to try something different this year because in previous years, I'd always go low food and have cheat meals. So I told myself, like, you know what? I want to get my body in a place where I'm able to eat lots of food. And I felt like cheat meals were just slowing down my digestion, my ability to turn over food. So I kept it to all clean food, like lower fat, higher carbs, and really ramped my metabolism up and was eating like at the beginning of prep 600 plus grams of carbs. And I was able to do that for a long period of time. So I wasn't really hungry. I didn't feel the need for cheat meals because my clean food was so high. So I did that for the first like 6 weeks. Then we started chopping calories down a little bit. And when I got to the halfway point, I was 8 weeks out. I kind of felt a little bit stagnant and I was like, hey, you know what, I'm halfway. So Rachel and I ordered like a hamburger, fries, which is a really small cheat meal for me because in the past I'd go overboard. So I had one burger, order fries, and a cookie. And I felt good, I was satisfied. So I felt like I kind of knew this was for me. I was like, you know what, this style of prep is a lot more effective because I'm not thinking about food all the time. I'm satisfied, my training intensity is high, my performance is good, my recovery is good, sleep's good. All those things were amazing. So now that we're like this close and the body fat is so low and the blood glucose is so low, I still haven't had any cheat meals, but we're doing those super high carb days. On the second high carb day, because I need 900 grams, I did have cereal post-workout to get 150 grams of carbs, just because 900 grams from white rice or oatmeal is a lot of volume. I don't know if you consider that a cheat meal, but it felt like a cheat meal. Come on, Betty. Come on. Come here. Come on. That's all for tonight, folks. We'll see you guys tomorrow.